Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
What's up with you, Smooth Jay?
Man, all I can tell you is I had a crazy day, but one thing I can always tell you, blessed and favored, baby.
Yeah, man.
Blessed and favored.
Blessed and favored.
And now
Jay.
that I got you in the building, I need to know how your day went. Cause you might be Jeffrey tonight.
Well, you know, all my days are complete. You know, all my days
you said
are
complete.
complete. They're filled with
You
the
know,
Lord. You know,
he
they
took
always
a piece from you to make a woman. See?
always blessed. You know.
Okay, I'm just
So
saying.
you know, I live a great life, man. You know, and not just because I don't have some problems,
Okay.
but I live a great life because I just believe in God's greatness over my life. You know, it's all about belief, man. That's what it
Oh, I
was
got
about.
you, bro.
You
You
know?
also sound like you just happy when TK come on. That's all.
Yeah.
Just that other piece.
Sound like you starting stuff already.
That's what I do. We stir it up. At Bar Talk with Jay. This is what we do. We stir it up. having some fun.
No, Jay stirs it up.
Okay,
right?
okay.
So,
you got to snitch.
So, folks, again, Bar Talk with Jay, and my name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay, and what we do is attempt to inspire people
Yes.
and help people become their greatest possibility. And sometimes what we really need is just a better understanding.
Yes, we do.
And we get a better understanding by talking and dialoguing and conversating about the subject that we have concern about. And by the time you finish the dialogue, by the time you get to the middle or end of it, you're going to have some ahas,
Oh, yeah.
right? And so that's what we're here to help create, are those ahas in life, those things that allow you to see a little further in life, allow you to dig a little deeper, allow you to, you know, drive a little harder and be a little more successful, want a little more, and to believe with a greater belief. So it's just our opportunity to be leaders in the community, and we are so happy to be here tonight. And we got a great show lined up
Oh,
for
yes. And before we forget, we got Barbara from Macon, Georgia in the building. Yes. We ain't got no hand claps, but she in the building. What's
Hey-
going on,
hey,
Miss
Miss Barbara.
Barbara?
Hello, everybody. How are you doing today?
you. We're doing good. Sounds so formal.
How are you
Yeah.
today?
It's all right, because we're going to be hearing more from Barbara tonight.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
So, ladies, y'all got somebody speaking for y'all tonight, seeing that y'all think we ball hog. No, we play with everybody. Yes.
Okay. And Barb, why don't we kick it off tonight with a short prayer? And Barb's gonna lead us in that. So let's get it.
The short prayer for today is, Lord God, nurture us each with your holy word so that we grow like an olive tree in knowledge of you. We thank and praise you and will proclaim your goodness forever and have faith. Amen.
Amen.
Man, listen. I
she
ain't,
don't speak often, but she powerful.
I ain't
what
never
she do.
heard a radio show or a TV program, anything but a sermon start off with a
Start
prayer.
it off.
You know. So
We gotta get him the glory.
You know what
Yes.
I like about
What's
this passage quickly is I like the idea of grow like an olive tree.
Mhm.
And see, that means that you stand the test of time. You're not bothered by the rain. You're not bothered by the troubles of the day and the situations and the circumstance of life, but that you know that you're going to stay green and you know that you're going to continue to grow on through it. And the knowledge of being able to grow like an olive tree is what the Lord wants us to internalize, right? He wants us to embody that. So what a powerful passage. Thank you so much, Miss Barbara.
Oh, yeah.
And man, I get fired up about this.
I can see. My man broke it down.
You already know, Jay.
I see.
How I do.
I'm like, come on, Craig.
Let's recap last week's show. You want to kick it off, Jay?
You want to go back to that one?
Yes,
All
sir.
right, y'all.
That was a good one.
Let's go back.
Mhm.
Should a woman give a man sex every time he want it? Now, I said it like that because, you know, I be wanting it like that. But how it really went is, should a woman, in a relationship, give a man sex every time? Now, this is the catch. Whether she wants to or not. In
That's the
mood
catcher.
Or not. Now, when I start this, and then they do, this was not mine. I'm going to tell you this. I didn't come up with this because I don't want everybody to know that because I'm tired of these emails. Listen. It was just to say, do y'all want it as much as we do? And what's the thought behind it? And also, what are we doing? One of the things I noticed is when you treat a person right and you give them that love and respect, they want to as much as you do.
They want
But
you as much as you do.
A lot of
Absolutely.
times when things are going awry, that's when it seems like it's used as a punishment.
Yeah, that's
and
when
that's
it's
when
trouble.
it's a little smoke going on, and you want to ignore the smoke, and you feel like you still should get it. And again, everybody's different. It's not the same situation for everybody.
Absolutely.
There's some people that feel like even though it's a problem, I'm still gonna get mine.
Yeah.
And again, that's why some people feel like, oh, well, that's a better person for me. Where there's smoke, you need to address some things still.
Yeah.
You can't just let sex be something to cover everything up. It's something that you enjoy doing, but you also should enjoy being with your partner and learning and nurturing.
Yeah.
It's like that olive tree. You gotta stand the test of time.
Right.
And if you don't get it right, you will be, as Jeffrey said, single.
And for a very,
Very
long
long
time, right?
Woo!
I think the consensus out of the discussion, both for men and women, was that the answer was no. No, you should not get sex anytime you want it, whether she wants it or not. And the reason, ultimate reason is my frat brother said it this way. He said, man, I don't want no love from my wife if she don't want to give it to me. It ain't gonna be no good no way. Right? I mean, which is real. You ain't gonna feel it.
What's your frat brother name?
Sex is an act or, activity of passion. And sometimes being mad, kind of kills the mood and don't make you as passionate. But we did resolve, me and TK, for sure.
Oh, did you?
That even if you are mad and if you are upset, that
Still
you
gonna
should
get
be
it
able
in.
to put those things away and be able to have a great night in your bed. And sometimes those moments of passion, sometimes those expressions during sex brings you back together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It isn't just an act. It really is kind of a realization of passion for one another. And so it was a great show, folks, and I think that we did a great job with it too, man. I really think we did a great job. I went back and listened to it twice, and for you folks who didn't get a chance to listen to it last week, please go to our website. That's Bar Talk with Jay.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on YouTube. You can go on Facebook. You can go on Spreaker. What's the P?
iTunes.
Period.
Oh, and if you want to see it,
yeah.
you can go to Periscope.
Periscope, that's my favorite one, because it's always crystal clear and we can hear everything, and you get to listen to the music, right? But so that makes it a little more special. But it was a great show, folks. So I invite you to go visit the show. We have over 70 2-hour shows, and they are filled, jam-packed with lots of humor and lots of real-life lessons about how to be your greatest possibility. So I think we did that one, man. I'm gonna chalk that one up for us.
Okay. Drop the mic.
Yeah, drop the mic on.
Time for the quote of the day.
Okay.
Guess what? We got Barbara back on the mic again.
Yeah.
Barbara, can you help us with a quote of the day?
I can help you for the quote of the day.
Okay.
The quote for today. I believe in God, not because my parents told me to, not because the church told me to, but because I've experienced His goodness and mercy myself. I have a story to tell about this,
Okay.
and it actually happened. To me, I believe it did because I have faith in the Lord and I believe in the Lord.
Yeah.
My grandfather, which I thought was my father, got very ill. They sent him to the VA hospital. I was looking for him one day when I came from college, and they was like, baby, we had to send your daddy. So I went to visit, came back constantly every day, and I just asked the Lord, please let him come home. They let him come home.
Okay.
The Lord let him come. But that's not all what I wanted. I had to pray a little harder.
Right.
I said, can you at least give me a week with my father
Yes.
so he can do the things that he wants to do, be able to walk and talk, and we have our fun like we used to.
Right.
I got my wish. And after that 7th day, my father passed.
Won't he do it?
And he will do it.
Yes, he will do it.
Every time.
And let me just preface our passion for the Lord and for the Word of God by saying that we're not judging any faith and in religion. We're just expressing who we are. And so we talk about these types of things for those of you who can identify with what Barbara is saying. I think everybody can identify what God's saying. You know, whether you call him Muhammad, Avis, or whoever you call the Lord, your deity, and we all serve the same God either way, but your deity has responded to you in ways that are quite miraculous. And it's important for us to pay attention to those moments. Those moments where we pray for something and then we receive what we pray for. Those are moments that you are bound by spiritual law to express gratitude. You're bound by spiritual law to say, I see you, Lord. I hear you, Lord. I know you're with me, Lord. And it comforts him. You say you let the trumpet sound and give all praises unto the Lord, So that's what it's really all about. And let me just say a little bit more on that, because this is close to my heart. It's 7-Eleven now.
Say it,
I
baby,
always
say it.
I always put my finger up when it's 7-Eleven. That the 11 minute of the hour is something special.
Okay,
Those
okay.
know who know the 11-11 thing going on in the world. We're passing to a new phase right now. But with that, during the quote it says, "I have experienced His goodness and mercy."
Uh-huh.
I have experienced His mercy and goodness. I have spent so much time in my life studying the different faiths and the different truths and the different religions and the different spiritualities. I've seen many of them, dozens and dozens and dozens of them, and the one that always produces fruit is the Bible and Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
It always produces fruit. And if you just spend a little bit of time in the Word, just go and read a few passages. Maybe you're sick or you need help for somebody else or help at work. Just go in there, and it's almost like the Lord's going to speak to you, right? And what He's doing is He's telling you His plan in the Word. He's telling you what life should be like and how to deal with these issues. And He'll always give you some special seeds of belief nourishment when you go into that Word. I'm telling you, Jake, it's the only thing that I found that works consistently, that causes me not to stress, that causes me not to strain or struggle. I see His works in my life every day, and the more I spend time with Him in prayer and asking for stuff, the more I see His manifestation coming forth. So, folks, I'm just here to tell you that, in my life, it works. I feel almost invincible. I'm not saying that I'm not above the law of life and death, but I feel invincible. Like I can have anything I want, and God is always by my side. I'm always being watched over and cared for. The enemy can't harm me, can't get me. No vices can harm me. That I just feel like, I got the world on my shoulders.
You do.
And what a great feeling that is, man. That's what we call inspiration, really inspiration.
That's exactly what it is.
So folks, get into your Word, start studying what Christ did and what He says. And we don't want this to be, we don't want to rule anybody out here, because we love all people, and all people are reaching for the same truth. And that's, really, people are wanting to be, salvation, right? We want today to be good, and we want to know that tomorrow's always going to be good. That's salvation. And so that's what we're reaching for, and I've achieved it, in many areas of my life. I'm still here in the world, so I have to deal with the world, which brings me to, let me just change it up here a second, man.
Go on ahead, I feel it.
I'm just feeling so much remorse and so sad in my heart, man, about those kids.
Oh, yes.
And those people that were killed yesterday.
Yes.
And this continues to happen. And we sometimes say, well, why is it happening and what's going on? And folks, you just have to know in your heart that that God is in control, but there's some ways and means He has to use that we just don't quite understand. You wonder why the weeds come amongst the flowers and in the midst of the garden, and why the insects are always trying to tear down the garden and the fruit. We don't understand why those things happen, but we got to stand strong and know that the harvest is for us, and that we will reap a greater day, and we will find a way to overcome any of these type of attacks upon our spirits and upon our livelihoods and upon our children. And there will be a day where we will be glorified, and we will not have to worry about dark spirits anymore. So just keep grinding, folks, and keep pressing on. Our hearts go out to all of the family members who lost relatives and loved ones. And the first thing I think about is that could have been my child. That could have been my sister, who was a teacher, administrator, or those folks who were caught up in this mess. So just say a prayer for them, and let's pray that the harm stays away from us. Because I do believe that it is going to continue a little bit, and just brace yourself and keep your eyes on the swivel, so that you can hinder any harm that might come. I heard a story on the way here, and I don't want to be
No.
expressive.
You good, bro.
I heard a story on the way here where
I like your
some lady in Wyoming or Colorado, some grandmother found a diary for her grandson. and the diary was saying things like, I want to be the most historical killer of people, and hurt the most people so I can go down in the history books as being that person. And the grandmother called law enforcement and gave them the journal, and so she stood up, because that boy could have been the next one going into a school tomorrow, next week, or anytime. So because grandmother stood up, and that was her own grandchild, but she stood up for the righteousness of the people. And we need more of you to be on the lookout and to do more positive things like that, man.
And I totally agree. And it's hard to be able to give up your own child. But you got to also understand, if it's evil intent, there's nothing good that's going to come from it.
Right,
so,
right.
To be righteous and knowing what's in your heart, and again, the spirit was within you.
Right.
What happens is a tragedy. My heart, and I like to say everybody on my staff, is grieving over what happened.
Absolutely.
And again, we didn't even know him personally, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Human mankind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't want that to happen. And again, if it was something we could have done, naturally we all want to step forward. But we have to look at what's going on.
Yeah.
And getting back into the word and knowing what's in you. Because I like to say a lot of us are waking up and what's in us is still sleep.
Right.
Your passion is sleep. You need to wake up, because if you're really passionate about life and you love and you understand what you're ordained to be doing, half the things that's going on we wouldn't be doing. That's mundane. We just sitting mild tone and not understanding what's really life's about. When you wake up, you should be excited.
Yeah.
Every day, excitement should happen. I shouldn't need an alarm clock to wake up.
Yeah.
I should be waking up with that Holy Spirit, knowing I have a job to fulfill. And it's touching people in different ways. And that's why they ask you to live within excellence. Not just to go to work and do just what they ask. It's more than that, because you're going to be asked to be a lot more later. And if you're not doing it now, you probably won't do it later. So you might as well get used to doing it. And you know something? It gives you a happy spirit. That happy spirit is where we want you to be at Bar Talk with Jay. Have that conversation with your family, your friends, and let's all get on track with getting back to caring and loving one another. And my arm goes out to everybody down in Florida that's grieving right now. Bar Talk with Jay is hugging you with my staff, hoping you have a speedy recovery during a very tragic time.
Absolutely. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Just a moment on a side note subject that Barbara put together for us tonight. She wanted to give me an opportunity just to express myself on a particular subject. And so the question is, in your opinion, why is trust a vital part of relationships and job-related tasks? Why is trust so important, a vital part of relationships? Well, the definition of trust is firm in reliability.
Okay.
Right? And to get reliability, you must give reliability. And so it is important that you're honest with people. I know sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes you think the truth is going to hurt their feelings, or it's going to change the relationship, or it's going to push you away from opportunities. The lie is going to hurt you more than the truth. Because if you'd have told the truth in the beginning, that person may not have responded like you thought they would have responded. They may not be angry or upset. They may be in earnest. They may be just have, feelings of remorse for you and want to help you. We got to be honest, and we got to be dependable, okay? Trust is about placing your confidence in a person, right? And that's sometimes your information, sometimes that's your things and stuff. And so it creates unity. Trust creates unity. It's something that we can rely on, something we can bank on, something that we can count on. Now we know if we plant seed in the garden and we water it and nurture it, it's going to grow fruit. It's going to produce a harvest, right? And it works the same with people, right? You plant good seeds with people and you help them and you be there to support them. I promise you they'll be there to help and support you. And so trust is everything and vital in relationships. So anything to say on that, Jake?
No, man, you did that. I guess I got to give him the topic, man. The topic for tonight, man,
yes,
is what's on your bucket list. Woo. Now, when I say it like that, it's almost like what's in your wallet. What are you thinking about and you want to do? What's your future goals? And again, don't say them right now, because we're about to go to break. But when we come back, we'll let you know a little bit of ours, and we want to know some of yours. So again, Facebook, hit us up, and please remember to subscribe on YouTube. Y'all been doing a great job. Subscribe is going up. I need that to continue. And again, it costs you nothing. All right, welcome back to Bar Talk with Jay. So, before we get my girl TK on to make my man Craftmatic smile, as always,
Right.
I want to make sure I bring Barbara back on. Barbara, what we got going on there behind the scenes?
I just want to add a little bit to what Kraft said about trust. If they go in the Bible to Proverbs and read that trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understandings. We are first to trust in Him before we are anybody else. And I would also like to say thank you for the audience for listening.
Yes.
And Pastor Anthony wants to tell you all hello.
All right,
And
tell
I'm not
Pastor.
finished. And if there are any questions or comments, just leave a note and I will get to them.
Well, definitely want to say to Pastor Anthony, we had a great event. I wish all y'all would have came out. If anybody missed it, you can see it on my Facebook. Great time. Me, Craftmatic, Bart was in the building. We interviewed him, and if you didn't know nothing about the Eve Effect, I think you learned everything about that book that night. He gave a lot of special attention to everybody that was in the audience. So anything he do, please go out and support him, because he's giving himself in a way that you would want to see.
Yes.
And I enjoyed that night.
Yes.
And just like I'm about to enjoy TK, because we got TK on the line. What up, girl?
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
hello. Craftmatic said you can say it a little better than that. Yes.
How you doing tonight, Miss TK?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good.
He
I'm
said
doing good.
He said you'd be better when you put both feet in them stilettos and walk up in the building. Yeah.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah. How far are you from us?
I'm in Ellenwood.
Ellenwood.
Okay,
What
okay,
made you have that
okay.
problem?
Listen, I drive an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't nothing but a drive, girl. By the time you get to listen
Y'all
to your
have
music.
Starbucks.
Yeah, I'll bring you some Starbucks. Don't
Yeah,
worry
well,
about that.
yeah. You ain't got to worry.
I'll take care of that. So, at any rate, what you got for us tonight, Miss TK?
So I know, happy late Valentine's, everybody. Everybody got what they wanted, either girl, whatever the case may be. I just wanted to know, do people really keep the broke man's promise? You know how you have a friend and you're in the office and you playing a lottery pool, and if I hit, I'm gonna look out for you. Do those things really happen? Maybe not on that scale, but on anything.
No.
I'm gonna win these tickets to this cruise. I'm gonna take you with me because you know you my girl. Do people really do that and they keep their word on them?
Man, that's a good subject right there. But that's
Crab ready for that one.
subject. I'm not ready for it, but I probably can add some value. The first answer that comes to my mind is no.
I see that one coming.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, now we all have known several people, maybe who got the promise, and when their friend, or cousin, or grandmama hit it, they
got all about it.
They got left out, right? And so only a small percentage. I'm always marveled at a relationship that can. So for example, Jay-Z and his boy, his boy that was in jail, I can't remember his name, but when he went Ty, yeah, when Ty went to prison or jail, that Jay-Z was like, do your bid and come out and I got you. And when he came out, Jay-Z got him, put him in the Mile High Club day one, and I heard an interview just a few weeks ago when Jay-Z was talking about how proud he was of Tata. He said these are incredibly talented people, and they have great leadership skills. They're about business. They handle stuff, and so I just love that relationship. I love the fact that he went back and got his boy, and he kept the broke man's promise. But it doesn't happen very often. It's just I don't know. It's far and few between, and I don't know why that is, but maybe sometime you make the promise, it's just a proud moment. You know what I'm saying? You didn't really mean it. You just said, you know what? If I win $1 million, I'm gonna give you 100,000.
Give that million.
But you didn't.
I give you 50.
Well, listen, you didn't realize the government was gonna take 350.
Yeah. I got a whole lot less than I really bargained for.
Right. So I got to cut your stack down a little bit too, if you get any at all. It would be nice, I am grateful that I do believe I can trust the Lord's promise. He promised that he would always take care of me, and that he would always help me and always support me and be there for me. And so, I think that's the only broke man promise I can really count on.
I gotta admit, I'm with you. I like to say it doesn't always happen, but we can hold ourselves and make it happen. Just because it doesn't always happen don't mean we can't start doing our part.
Right.
So watch your promises, and that way you can hold your word. Sometimes you speak with loose lips.
Right.
You in the moment, you just saying
something,
and you didn't really mean it.
Right.
Well, you gotta quit speaking useless words, because those words have a life.
Yes.
And if you're gonna say them with meaning.
Yeah.
Don't just throw out numbers if you're not for sure.
Right.
Give reality how you really want it from the heart instead of a dollar figure. Because again, people chase money all the time.
Yeah.
But if I got you, that's not giving you a number.
Right.
I got you mean no matter what's going on, I'm gonna do the best I can. And to me, it gives you the hope of knowing that he got me, and you don't really know what all it means. So when more things come, you'll be like, I never thought he would do so much for me.
Right.
Give a person an opportunity.
Yeah.
But the one thing you just gotta trust.
You gotta trust. And while you're talking, Jay, what comes to mind based on your words was you're talking from the successful man's perspective. You were saying, don't watch your words. Don't put your words out there like that. That's somebody who's going somewhere, right? Only those people who have a vision and are going somewhere would say that, would have that kind of conversation. And so, that is for leaders, and that is for those people who are going somewhere. And I think it's important to say that we should never forget where we came from. No matter who you are, if you make it, you did not make it by yourself. Now you might be the only one read that script, at the play that day and got the part, and next thing you know, $1 million richer later. But you can't forget, who gave you that ride and who loaned you that money, and who was there for you at your events. All the days you played football in Little League, your uncle was always there. No matter what, he was always there cheering you on. You can't forget him when you get to the place of success, when you get to the place where it's time to share and give back. And I think at a certain point in success, you increase your possibility of greater success by looking over your shoulder and pulling somebody up with you. You know what I mean? It's almost like you are obligated to tithe to someone who helped you once you get to a certain level of success. Because at that point, you'll either start to get egotistical and forget where you came from, or you're going to look back and be grateful for those people who actually helped you get there. And what a marvelous conversation. I don't think I've ever discussed this particular type of issue, but that's good stuff. What's your take on the subject, TK?
I try not to say anything that I can't feel like I can fulfill. If it happens, there are people who still don't even know I will bless them with the same blessing. I never do it. I've never done it. I don't. When people do it, it's kind of like I said, it's just a broke man's promise. Yeah, brother, sometimes when you get the check or if something happens, you forget about those people who helped you pay for lunch, you gave you a couple ounces of gas. You don't remember those people. and sometimes unintentional. So I just try not to overspeak myself.
Yes.
If it happens, then I bless those who I feel like have been, who would have done the same thing for me. And if not, those are people I feel like are deserving of that blessing.
Yeah, I have a handful of people in the back of my mind in a vault that when I hit the big time, I'm gonna go back and love up on all those people, and I'm gonna find a special way to do something real special for all of those people because they were there when $100 made a difference in my life. You know what I'm saying? They were there to catch me when I needed somebody asked you to borrow $100, you be like, what you gonna do with $100? You can't do nothing with $100, but sometimes $100 will get you to the next check, you know? So I was, and I recall being broke and down and out, man, and I had my frat brother said, man, we got a big black attire affair, a formal coming up for the campus in the next month, man. He said, you going? I was like, well, I probably can't really, put that loot out right now. I got to stay focused on my trade. He was like, bro, don't even worry about none of that. He went and took me to get a tuxedo, got me fitted. He bought my tuxedo. He rented me a nice ride that night so I could pick up my little shouty, you know what I mean? And but that's love, man. That was from my fraternity brother. That's what my frat brother did when I was down and out. And he went on to be wildly successful now. Owns properties all over the country and just doing it big. Living a 5,000, 6,000 square foot house with his family and getting ready to buy a new house. But that's what you get when you bless people. When you help people, that's what you get the prosperity, and you have the possibility of making it big if you're always looking out for the people around you. It's just so important, man. It's such, it's just like planting a seed again. You gotta plant good seeds, and planting good seeds. The person who you help, you might help them on one level, but you might get help on a whole nother level. You might help somebody with money, but somebody might get you introduced to the CEO of that company, so you can earn their business as an entrepreneur, or so you can get the job. You just never know how it's going to come around. And I'm a firm believer that, and this is major. I'm a firm believer that when you plant a small seed, that when it comes back to you, it can be any size. You never know. Just because you plant a dollar seed, it might come back as $1 million. It might come back as just $1. It might come back as $100. It might come back as a meal. It might come back as an introduction. It might come back as pick up a ride. It might come back with somebody to help you over troubled waters and be your bridge. So you never know, but you gotta plant seeds. And if you're not planting seeds, you're probably not gonna have anything to harvest.
And again, it takes me back to realizing what life's all about.
Yeah.
And it gives you another perspective. And that's what I like about it, because again, we didn't always have money.
Right.
All of us wasn't rich when we was young. And even if you did, sometimes your parents didn't give you a lot to make you earn your keep.
Right.
But the bottom line is you got to learn your lessons. So it's going to be a lot of mistakes that's going to be made.
Man.
But make them into lessons.
Right.
Quit holding on to the pain of what all went wrong and start living your life more happy to realize it was a mistake and God bless you with the grace and mercy to still be here.
Listen,
to make better decisions.
I am just taken back, man, every time we do these shows, because we started talking about a broke man's promise. And we done narrowed that all the way down to loving on people and helping people and serving people and planting good seeds. I mean, that's what inspiration is all about, folks. That's what Bar Talk with Jay does.
Yeah, I know.
And so a great topic tonight, Ms. TK. Let me quickly ask you, we got a couple of minutes before we go to break.
Tell you what, TK, can you stay with us after break?
No, I got homework.
You go. Wait a minute, you started?
I have a kid that has homework.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to
we
say.
understand. We understand.
She started?
Listen, just give us a minute.
Fight.
Just give us a minute. The question for tonight, a topic for tonight is what's on your bucket list?
On my bucket list?
Yeah, what's on your bucket list besides Craftmatic?
I just want to travel. I just want to see the world. I just want to see the country, just every end of the globe. I want to travel. I want to put myself in a position to where I can pack a backpack, nothing really serious, backpack, passport, a decent amount of money, and just see the world.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
And there is a lot to see.
yes.
There is a lot to see. This globe is filled with a lot of extreme sights, adventures, and stories, and people, and not to mention, monuments and waters and oceans and beaches. It's just a lot going on. Not to mention restaurants. There's just a lot.
And Crab wanted to tell you he got his passport already.
Right.
This man.
I don't know why. I just have to get the book bag.
Jay, you did good on that one, boy. You did good on that.
Now smooth with
You made me proud.
Smooth
You
Jay.
made me proud on that one, boy. You made me proud on that one. Well, listen, that's great dialogue, and I hope that you're able to achieve that. I would encourage you, just like I'm encouraging our audience and even myself tonight, this conversation about bucket list is about seeing beyond the present moment. It's about looking into your future and making a decision about what you want and want to do with your life or in your life. We only have one life as far as we know. Now, there are some people who think that we come back and do this until we get it right, or we're going to just be doing it because this is where our place is in the universe, is to do human life. But either way, let's look into the future and figure out what we want that's going to make us happy, that's going to fulfill us and make us believe that at the end of our lives, we have achieved something and achieved something special for ourselves and something great for the world.
We can't say nothing after that, but TK, you have a wonderful evening. I hope you had a blessed Valentine's Day. Stay blessed as always, girl. Take that Vaseline off your forehead. You ready to fight. Take that Vaseline off your forehead when you get some pimples. And we're going to holler at you.
And we going to holler at you. All right, folks.
We'll be back.
Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay.
To go to all our social media to be able to see us. Again, we're on Facebook, which a lot of people watch us. Periscope is another clearer way of watching us. And again, a week later, you can go to YouTube. That's right. That's where I need y'all to subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube, and remember, it costs you nothing. I always got to say that because, again, them old things where you subscribing is a penny later. No.
Right.
No cost at all. And again, we just need y'all to subscribe. It automatically comes to you. We got shows coming up weekly. We even got some in the archives because one of the things we're doing is bringing great stuff to you how you want it and listen to it whenever you want to.
Right.
Also, we got events. We just had one with Pastor Anthony. We just did that last Friday. When I tell you, it was awesome.
Awesome.
I got off work and I was like, man, tired, and he just uplifted me.
Yes.
One of the things about relationships, you got to understand, pastor has a different anointing about relationships other than what I would normally think. So when I was sitting there with him and I brought myself into it and I almost got my own little counseling. Yeah.
Right.
That's what I love about Pastor Anthony because he takes that time. And matter of fact, that night he wasn't pastor.
He wasn't pastor?
He was
Yeah.
A.I. Wilson.
Right.
The man that wrote The Eve Effect.
Right.
Great man, had a great time. We was there to the end, and I promise you, it was wonderful. My man Rob was handling the wheels of steels.
Yeah.
Y'all got to come out to our events, and you will really see we have a great time.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, just the ambiance of the whole place, and the drinks and the food, everything was nice. I had a bratwurst that night, man.
Oh yeah.
It was really
I think
good.
we was the only one that was really drinking, but it's Bar Talk with Jay. That's what happened, even with the pastor. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well,
Something got poured out with.
what was real interesting during the whole dialogue. I continue to see the pastor as a married man, and he's not.
No.
He's single.
Yes.
And I seen his eyes on the swivel a little bit too.
Yeah, you were seeing the room too. What?
I don't, I don't blame him. There were some beautiful people there. But
we bring them out.
But it was called a pre-launch party, And so he wanted to get a feel for how to deliver his message and how to share and talk about his book and the information that he brings to the world. And so, it's just kind of a platform to really learn and grow. But I think there were a lot of people who were nurtured from it as well.
Yes, even I got nurtured from it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Even you, huh?
What?
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
I need help too.
Yeah.
Y'all can tell from the show.
Oh yeah.
I started this, Lord. I be sitting with Kraft all the time.
I know.
But you know
Jay.
something? If you don't talk about your issues, you'll never grow.
Right.
So get
That's
them off
true.
your plate.
That's true.
Now, also with growth, besides that one, because that was the past, future, we also have a bus trip. And when I say we, it's not us. John Schultz and Cam put together this a couple years ago. I was with the J&J show, and he started this. It's a bus trip down to Savannah.
Okay.
And a lot of people like to go to New Orleans. Well, down in Savannah, they got a nice little party going on, St. Patrick's Day. And that's my son's birthday.
Right.
And that party is wow. Okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, if you wanted to get a hotel or drive down, hotels are very expensive. And they're probably booked up by now. But
Right.
you can get on this bus trip.
Right.
And you can pay, you can go on down. And on this bus trip, I'm telling you, they clown, have fun. You're going to get towed up. So you got to be of age. If you're a minor, sorry, you got to be at least 21 of age. Because you drinking on this bus. And I'm telling you, you're going to have some fun.
Yes.
They usually have a headliner on the bus, man. We do shots. By the time you get down there, you're already feeling good. And Lord knows, just to let y'all know, it's $5 for a band down there. So if you go down there and you think you can just walk around and get away with it, I don't want you to go to jail or pay extra or fines. So pay the little $5. Most of the venues and the food, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I had a great time. It was a couple years ago when I went, and I enjoyed myself. Food was great. I ate. And then when we got back on the bus, you didn't have to worry about nobody headlining because we were asleep.
Right.
But you made it back safely. You did not have to drive all the way down there and get drunk, get a DUI, and it cost you your career or more money than necessary just trying to have a good time.
Right.
But I will tell you, there were some people down there wearing some things that you will have to go experience for yourself. I'm not gonna say no more, but they wear some tartars, leotards, some capes. They believe me, they believe in that green, bro. It
Yeah.
was different.
Okay.
Okay, but I had fun,
Yeah.
and everybody that was there was out to have fun.
Mhm.
So if y'all want to do something, St. Patrick's Day, definitely go to my website and book. You got to do it quick. I think one bus already sold out. They on the second bus. If enough people go, they'll go with a third. But if you don't hurry up, I hate for y'all to miss out on that one. Great trip.
Yeah.
I think it's like $65 plus $5 for the band whenever you get down there. Of course, you got to have some of your own money for some expenses. But when on the bus, they got some shots. They're going to do some things for you. There's going to be a surprise, but you got to get on the bus to find out.
Man, that sounds like a great trip.
Well, I'm just
How long does it last?
Man, that trip starts like at 9 a.m. You got to jump on the bus, and they got different locations. So definitely go to the website, and you'll be able to see. And then you stay down there till about like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And you get back on the bus, and then you'll basically be sleeping on the bus coming back
It's a
up.
same day trip?
Yes.
Oh man,
So-
I have to take on that.
Yeah,
Man,
so-
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Listen, I spent a lot of my life partying like a rock star.
Okay.
I think I partied myself out. I don't get excited about partying anymore, but that sounds like a real fun occasion, man. I'm looking forward to that. I gotta
Definitely. Check it out.
Put that on a schedule. That's what we gotta do.
Go to the website, and then definitely if you go, let them know Bar Talk with Jay sent you. Cam and John is definitely listening to find out who's promoting it, and again, I want to promote it because again, I'm down with them brothers. They're doing
Yeah.
big things. You're gonna hear more advertisement from them
Okay.
on our show because again, they got concerts coming up. They do a lot of things, and I don't even want to start because Cam told me I got so much going on, and I said just let me know.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of that, kind of leading into our subject for tonight, folks, if you are not aware of it, the travel market has become a very affordable market. And you can take cruises, 3-4 day cruises for $300. That means you can get on a cruise ship, they're gonna feed you, all you gotta buy is drinks. They're gonna stop at a couple of ports, you're gonna have the pools and the movie theaters and the bowling alleys and the dance halls and the live bands and midnight, shrimp snacks, and it's a great opportunity. I'm thinking nowadays to really get focused in on some travel
But Crab, we
and
single.
having some fun in your life.
So you trying to ask the ladies to take us on a cruise? That's what it sounded like to me.
No, they're-
Kraft said that any ladies out there want to take us on a cruise, we can do Bar Talk with Jay on whatever cruise line you choose.
Yeah.
But we like, we like one of the bigger ships. We don't like all that rocking and rolling. All right.
Yeah.
You go get us the biggest ship you can. I mean, we ain't bougie.
There wasn't
but we,
no 14-foot boat.
Don't get us on no little itty bitty. No, we
No, we're gonna take a real cruise.
and we want to have some fun.
Yeah, and listen, if we, no offense, ladies, if none of y'all call, it's gonna be something down there when we get there.
What?
You
You
know
can be left out if you want to,
Yeah.
but again, we're great company.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Let's travel a little bit this year, folks. Get inspired about going somewhere. Might be to go see an old relative. It may be to go and see the mountains. Maybe a ski trip. Maybe to see certain beaches. But there's a lot of fun to be had in this world, and sometimes we get so caught up in day to day that we don't even think about the possibilities.
Yes,
You know, that $300 you spend,
might not even
between 2 or 3 bars throughout the month, where you eat food and you splurge out, you can take that $300 and you can go on a real trip, and you can have beaches and
Yes.
people serving you and just a great time. So I think it's a great lead-in to tonight's discussion.
I'm saying, because I'm telling you, crap, they might not make it out of the cabin. I'm just saying.
Tonight, and we only have a few more minutes before we get to that was great stuff, Jay. We appreciate that.
You nasty crap.
No, what are you talking about? I'm
I
talking
said you might not make it out of the cabin. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
All right.
it's okay, crap. I know you, brother. You
So-
my boy. I
Right.
got you. But ladies, again, we are single, and we're out to do some cruises.
We talking
We're out to
about
do
the
some-
bucket list tonight.
Oh, that's what I'm talking
Right.
about. We trying to get some people to take us some places.
I don't need nobody, man. Just relax.
Okay.
Just-
Bar Talk with Jay.
and you don't either.
You know something, crap.
Let me
You
go ahead
gotta
and
just
put it out there. I
bust
don't know
my
why
butt.
you being so aggressive tonight. Just
I
relax,
mean, I like have fun,
Too much
Brad.
Coca-Cola or something, man.
Stir it up, baby.
So what you got to say about the subject tonight, man?
Well, the subject tonight is going to be brought to you by having fun and knowing a bucket list is meaning. I look for a future. I'm looking for something besides the common job that I go to. I have a vision board that I look at. And I like to say my bucket list is a part of my vision board because I'm trying to look into the future. I'm not like happy just with my present. I constantly got to struggle and tell myself, never be satisfied on where you at. It's where you're going. And the bucket list helps me have a bigger vision. And again, my vision board has one vision, but my bucket list has things that's going to take you to that next level.
Bigger vision, I like
Man, when I say bigger, it's places I want to go that I've never ever thought about until somebody else enlightened me about
Yeah.
it. When they gave me little small islands to go to, that's very expensive, but what does that cost when you start to look at the bigger picture? You know, you have to liquidate some things, change the way you think. You know, I used to buy a lot of stuff, and you look in the room and see a lot of stuff. I'm learning to get away from stuff and get back to assets, things that's going to accumulate money.
Right.
So I had to change my way of thinking because at one time you're buying cars, you're buying things that the value depreciates and that the worth is not there. But then you can start buying things that can gain. So it's just a change because you have to change your life. But people around me gave me exposure to something different than I had before. I was just happy to get stuff. Now I'm learning to buy things that can bring me a return. Now that is the change of the game.
Right.
And that's what you had to learn. So again, the bucket list is not just things to do just to waste. It's things to experience ultimate high and to keep me working hard to get more than life than just what I was aiming for. I was aiming low, easy hits. Now I gotta aim high. And if I don't get what I really want, I promise you I'm gonna hit something real close
Yeah.
that I would have never achieved
Yeah.
without that high aim.
Yeah.
And that's how you're gonna make it in these days. And there's gonna be some dark days that you can't be able to hit hardly anything. Dark times come. Trials, tribulations, like anything else.
Mhm.
But those memories, those thoughts are the things that you achieve. That's why one of the greatest things is write them down. Because you will never ever remember all the great things you did if you don't write them down. And I learned that from you. Take the time to write out your goals, write out the things that's important to you, for you can measure them and see them, because in them dark times, those are the things that you can look at, and it'll get you by, because you're making great strides, and it'll keep you in work mode instead of pity mode.
Right.
Pity mode takes you out of anything that you were ever going to desire and get if you just keep pitying. And I hate pity parties. That's the one party you can never invite me to. I don't want to go. If you're there, I feel for you. Pray for you. Hope you leave. Because I want to rejoice with somebody that want to rejoice with me, not pity. Because again, when I go through a sad time, it's no pity.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to grow from it. And while you still wallowing and while you crying over what I spilled, I done cleaned up. So while they still talking about what I spilled, it's been cleaned, it's been changed, and I ain't the same. Well, how about you? What's in your wallet? That's part of my bucket list.
Okay.
Just a part.
I like that, Jay. I like that. And man, you said so many powerful things. Pity party. I like that. No pity parties. When you're going through negative times, folks, you got to find a way to get out of it, right? And I didn't set up this bucket list. When we come back from break, I want to set it up so that it can make sense to the young and the old. And for those of people who lived a lot of life or just a little life, it'll give you a perspective on life, so that you'll understand the value of a bucket list, and you'll understand perhaps how to create a bucket list for yourselves. But some of the things that you said, Jay, you got to write them down. You got to write down your goals, right? These kind of things keep you in work mode, right? That's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about things that'll keep you in work mode. We're talking about things that will give you a bigger vision, okay? We're talking about things that will, in some ways, create some greater exposure so you can create some greater dreams, right? And so, I want to really dissect this subject, because I think so many people are not aware to their potential and leaving a lot of it on the table. And this exercise is a great exercise to help you expose you to more of your potential, right?
Potential.
Right.
If you woke up to potential,
Right.
because it normally stay dormant
Right.
and sleep.
Right.
Let's wake it up. Bar Talk with Jay. We're about to go to break with the smooth sounds of Craftmatic. Yes, and he's about to get you right. But one of the things I want you to do, grab a pen and write down some things, because again, when we come back, we're going to find out what's on your list. So again, if you're on Facebook, jot it to us. Let us know real quick. Instagram, go ahead and jot it to us. But we're going to be right back. Bar Talk with Jay. That's right. Bar Talk with Jay got it going on up in here tonight.
Yes, sir.
Boy, if y'all didn't know, y'all about to find out. My man gonna break down this bucket list to a whole nother level. But before we do that, I want to make sure I say thank you for the ones that went to YouTube and subscribe. I need y'all to continue doing it. And remember, it's not gonna cost you a penny. I just need y'all to go and hit that button. It's usually right underneath once it starts. It says subscribe. You hit it, and guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna keep coming to you every time we post. Normally, it's about a week behind. If you watch Facebook Live, what's going to happen is we're going to put it in movie mode. When I say that, I got somebody in the studio that changes the game.
Yes.
When I tell you he can make your life look so much better, he does great things. Again, he's not a person that likes to be on camera, but he makes you look good on camera. So again, you come up here and Bar Talk with Jay. One of the things he also do is he does models, and also he has artists. So if you ever come in the building, you might be able to find out that we do more than just radio talk up in here. We're doing movie-like things. And when you go to YouTube, that's exactly what you're going to get. Movie-like, because again, we're looking for advertising and things that's not going to cost you guys anything. But yes, we're going to charge other people, because we want people to sponsor us, because we're going to reach the world.
Right.
Our numbers are going to be higher than you ever imagined. All you got to do is stay tuned. And if you subscribe, you will always be able to get it without me ever calling you.
Yes.
Everybody's like, did you send me the show? Yes, subscribe. I don't have to. Make it easier. And that's why we asked you to subscribe.
Yeah.
So, Craftmatic, how you gonna break this bad boy down?
Man, I don't know. Let's just start at the beginning.
That's normally how you might want to do it.
Right? Let's just start at the beginning. So, here we are in this world. We get 60, 70, if we're lucky, 80 years of life. And the first 20 years of life are taken up by development.
Yeah.
The next 20 years of life, we end up fumbling around in life, making a few mistakes, playing with time, playing with our money. And hopefully, by, somewhere between 40 and 60, you really get a chance to live. Hopefully, before then, you get a chance to live. When I was watching the Olympics the other night, I'm watching 16 and 17-year-old kids on a world stage being number one in the world for their particular craft. And so we're hoping that, maybe it's, the good life can start long before you get 40. But if it hasn't started by 40, it is important that you identify what the next 40 years should produce for your life. Now, we're not talking about goal setting, and we're not talking about visioning necessarily. We're not talking about, those kinds of works. What we're just talking about is opening your mind to some level of clarity about what is important in your life. What is important in your life? What are those things? And let me just define bucket list for you. Bucket list, in essence, is defined as those things that you want to do or get done before you pass on. And there's an unlimited number of things to do, but if you can only get one a year done for the next 20 years, you should know what that is. And this is a fun exercise. The bucket list is something that should kind of make you laugh. It should kind of inspire you every time you see it, And I created a bucket list. I actually, in research for tonight's show, I went through over 1,000 bucket list ideas. And I just caught the ones I identified with me. But ultimately, it's designed to be a fun list, right? So one thing on my bucket list is I want to have a giant friend reunion, right? So let's say, I'm on top of the world. I'm sitting on 1 million, 20 million, 100 million, whatever.
All right.
I'd like to fly in all my favorite people for a weekend, a good time. All come to my house or to the hotel within down the street, and we all come together and congregate and party like we used to party. I remember I used to have some dynamic parties at my parents' house when I was a young man, and I just like to have that same group of people. They've all been very successful, Most of them have really, really gone to the next level. They're architects, they're lawyers, they're doctors, they're congressmen and senators nowadays. I imagine my age could have been a congressman or senator, right? But that's on my bucket list. That's one thing that I want to do before I pass on. If I'm rich, or even if I'm, not so rich, I think I can pull together a friend reunion.
So you want to have a house party?
I want to have a house party.
That's what I got.
But
with
with all my favorite people, though.
I'm just saying, Crab, I want to have a party. That's what I'm saying, Crab.
That's right, boy.
With old school friends.
Right, but that's something I'm going to do before I pass because I'm so grateful for those people. They were rich people in my spirit. You know what I mean? They all were, go-getters. They were all fun-loving. I knew most of them's parents and some of them's grandparents. And just to see those people again and bring them back together and we talk about old times, that's on my bucket list. What's on your bucket list, Jay?
Man, let me tell you, I had a lot of things on my bucket list. But one of the things I'm going to go back to is what you just said. Is something that was real close to mine. Is to go back to a class reunion. I missed several in the past, so it's real close.
Yeah.
Is to make it to a class reunion. I didn't think about throwing a party. But that's what a class reunion is.
That's what it is.
Is getting back to the ones that I missed since high school.
So you want to party too?
I do.
Okay.
So when I heard that, that's what I said, party.
Right.
Because that's what it really put me in a mindset of, because I kind of missed and I didn't get a chance to find out how they grew. A lot of the ones I graduated with,
right,
I have no contact but a very few.
Right.
And it wasn't because I was so busy. It's just we just went different ways. Again, if people didn't know, I came from Akron, Ohio. So when I came down to Georgia, I lost a lot of ties to a lot of people when I made it down here.
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing about Facebook, I was able to find many of them.
That's a great tool, man. Absolutely.
And they change so much. They're doing different things, but we never ever really come together. I've never seen that on Facebook about we're going to do this big reunion, except for my boy Jeff. Jeff did one, and I wasn't able to make it. It was on a cruise. So if I can, in the next year or two, after we get to the other level, where I can go back and grab him and grab all of us and grab a cruise. I would love to get us all on the ship because we're going to rock that ship over. When I tell you, it'll be the first ship that's going to go down in history upside down. Because we're going to tear that ship up. Because when I tell you we party, we had so much fun. In high school, there ain't no telling what we're going to do as grown folks.
Right.
So that's mine.
Okay, and listen, you should have plenty of them. I'm just going to start reading down the list here, and I probably got enough to take us through the end of the show. But I'd like to take a hiking trip through the Egyptian mountains. You know what I'm saying?
You definitely do
and the pyramids. But it's I've heard that when you take those tours, man, that you get to experience native people, and you get to understand, maybe their struggle, but most of all, you get to understand their resolve and how they're living life in a whole different way than we're living life, but they're still grateful and they're still happy. And I'd like to experience those people. No different than visiting Africa. I'd love to visit Africa. I'm yet to do that, to go and see our homelands and see what people are doing there and really see the attitudes of the people. I just like to do that before I leave. I definitely want to make.
I'll let you know. I want to join in with you, but that hiking, now I gotta be in the Jeep. If some come chasing after me, bro, I gotta be able to hit the gas.
Yeah, well, it's a very protected tour. When Americans go abroad, we are very protected people.
Just letting I seen that Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
I'm scared.
They're not gonna let you walk out in the bush by yourself.
I don't know. That's why I see it.
I'm telling you. I really would like to visit the White House before my days are up. I'm not interested in visiting it right now.
Yeah, thank you.
But I am interested in visiting the White House.
What they doing right now? No.
Right. Let's go to the Super Bowl, man, in a couple of years.
You know something? There you go. Party. Let's make it happen. You know something? It's here in Atlanta, Georgia. That's right.
So that bucket list is already done.
That bucket list is going to happen.
It's done.
Here in Atlanta.
Yeah, right at home.
So we just got to get it together where we can sit up in there and enjoy ourselves. But it's in Atlanta. I don't know if everybody know that. But we got the new stadium. So come on down here. Was that 2019? That's right. 19. It's 18 now, but 19. We got the Super Bowl here in Atlanta, Georgia with the brand new stadium. Yes. And I'd like to make a prediction. Us being there. Not necessarily RT. I'm saying us. Us in the stands.
Oh, us in the stands.
Us in the stands.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I was like, boy, Jay Show put himself out there. But
I ain't going that far.
I love it.
I got my feelings hurt too many
Let's get back to the bucket list.
All right, back to the bucket.
Yeah, we got to do some development here, folks. This is a time when you sit down with your clean sheet of paper, and this is what I recommend that you do. You sit down, clean sheet of paper, a pen, all by yourself with no distractions. You might have the TV on, maybe there's people in the room, but you're going to be focused on what is it that's going to make you happy, things that you want to do before you leave this world. And I'm just going to give you a few of mine, but you got to create your own. Now, let's make a distinction here. A dream list and a bucket list can be synonymous with one another. Okay. But a dream list says, this is what I'd like to do, but I'll probably never do it. A bucket list is something that you believe is attainable, right? You believe is attainable. I had a gentleman in my dealership a couple of weeks ago, and on his bucket list was to buy a brand new Silverado. And he bought a 2000, he had never had a new vehicle before in his whole life. This is a retired man with grandchildren. He's like, I'm going to buy me a new truck. I said I was going to do it before I retire, and I'm going to buy me a new truck. And so he checked that box off of his list of the things that he wanted to do. And now he owns a fabulous truck. something he never had before. It's brand new with no miles. Nobody ever touched it. You know, he's the only, you know, he knows the features inside and out. Just a part of his bucket list. So we're not necessarily talking about dreams, but I want you to do either or when you first start the list.
Okay.
Dream list, bucket list, write down some things you want to do. It'll help you get focused in life. I'd like to, you know, visit Amsterdam, another party, right? I know something about partying in my spirit, right?
Yeah, it is.
All right.
You
I'd
thinking
love,
about me?
yeah, I'd love to drive the Autobahn. And you know that I hear so many wonderful things about the Autobahn.
Yeah,
but
you just want to go fast.
I want to go fast. Yeah, I want to have the latest model sports car, and I want to get on there and drive about 150, 200 miles an hour.
That's that bad boy.
And yeah. I'm hearing when I've mentioned this to other people this week. A lot of people want to jump out of planes. I don't know what that's all about, right? They want to go skydiving and parasailing and all kind of stuff, you know.
You mark that ain't on my list.
Yeah.
Scratch that.
But listen, you know, people have been doing it for centuries, and
That's
so
right. Jump on to there.
yeah, jump on if you want to.
That about to.
But it's, you know, actually I would like to. I'm not gonna joke. I
Okay.
would. I do have
Not a
the,
problem.
you know, I mean I've done
I'll
some
be
jumps,
on the
but
ground with a camera catching when you land.
that's okay.
Hope
That's
you,
okay.
hope you land good.
Yeah. But listen, film it all.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Just film it all. right?
Oh.
I'm certainly eager in writing a biography. I'm certainly interested in being a self-made millionaire. I'm certainly interested in spending some quality time with many of the people who I admire who have made it there. I would just love a day with Oprah Winfrey.
Okay.
And just to sit and ask her some questions about her, you know, her process, her vision, because she's worth $3.5 billion now, bruh. And so she has to have a vision. She has to know she's going somewhere that we may not even be able to see based on our perspective of life and having to just go to work, be hardworking men. We don't have the capacity yet to see what she could see, and I would love to be able to talk to her about it. I would like to try being hypnotized.
That's
Right?
different.
Yeah, you know, I'd just be interested. I don't think I can be hypnotized, but I want to at least try. And if I can get hypnotized, I want to, you know, maybe remember something that will add value to my life or something, you know. It's got to be with somebody I trust, though. 'cause
Yeah,
they might have
Hey,
me.
you have.
Right.
No.
Right.
Wake up like a dog, dude.
I'd love to visit the BET Awards one year, you know. And I mean, all of my favorite, you know, rappers and actresses and artists, and you know, I just love to go there. I bet that's just a fabulous environment. Be next to the red carpet, maybe not necessarily on it, but if we keep doing what we're doing, Jay, we can get on
Yeah,
the
we
red
on the red
carpet.
carpet.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can definitely take this to the next level.
That's gonna be easy.
Visit the Eiffel Tower. I mentioned see the pyramids. I'd love for my dad and I to take a cruise together, you know, just kind of a father-son vacation. I would love to visit the Playboy Mansion. And something about that place seems to be very intriguing to
What are you
me.
talking about?
And
You come to my crib all the time, Playboy Magic right here. You check that one off the list, player.
we talking about Hugh Hefner, right?
Hey man, let me tell you something about you.
Yeah.
I'm the black one. I'm just trying to tell you.
Okay.
I ain't got all the buddies yet.
Right.
But I'm just trying to tell you, I got a son over there in the county. He working on it.
Okay.
Yeah. They might not look like the ones you like, but we working on it.
I hear you.
Everything comes in time.
You bet. You
Okay.
bet. So, you know, we've been talking about it. I think we've got plenty of time to really dive into what does this mean? What will it do for you? What are the benefits of having a bucket list? And Jay, I want you to reach deep down, man. I need to hear the top 3 things. I need to hear the top 3 things that you are going to achieve. Not dream list, the top 3 things that you are going to achieve in this lifetime. No ifs, ands, and buts, no excuses at the end. You will have to get off of your sick bed to do these things because you will not perish without doing it. What is that, Jay? And what is that for you, audience? I'm talking to you and I'm talking to Jay.
Y'all gotta come to me because I'm gonna tell you.
Don't
top
say it
on
now.
my list.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Don't say it now.
I can say it now.
It's break
When
time.
I come back,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give y'all the top 3, and the first one gonna blow your mind.
I'm
and I'm
ready
gonna
for
leave
that.
it just like that because when I tell you the first one, I didn't even think this would come out my mouth.
This is something you truly desire.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of things I desire. And when you hear some of them, you're going to be like, really? And it's just going to be 3. But when I give it to you, Craft,
Yeah.
you're going to be like,
I think we ready for that.
you've been drinking.
We ready for that.
You been
We most certainly
drinking.
ready for that. Y'all folks stay tuned with us. We'll be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay.
Bar Talk with Jay, yes! Smooth sounds of Craftmatic. He gets us in the mood all night
In the
long.
building, boy.
So, it's back on Jay.
It's back on Jay. So
Top 3.
top 3
Number 1, gonna blow your
on the
mind.
bucket list.
On the bucket list, get married.
What? Get out of here.
Now,
What?
your boy been a player for a minute and a half. Okay, I gotta get off the player
Oh
list.
my
I have to,
Oh my
Craft. I mean, you can only play for so long,
You realize that?
and I gotta say, at the age of 48, and what I got going on right now, I can play for a little longer. Oh, because I'm not getting married overnight, but I'm gonna tell you, long term, I
Wow.
envision myself back happy with that one special one. I just know I've been through so much. I wasn't quick to enter it. I never really wanted to contemplate it. But there's no need of me playing when I've been with Pastor Anthony,
Oh,
with
man.
yourself. And my encouragement is you can build a big old legacy and you can build it by self and you love self, but it's not for you just to be with self all your life. It was meant for me to be with someone. And I want to be with that
Okay.
special one, but I know I have to make some changes and provisions because I know I had some things in me that I had to get past. If not, I carry over. And if I had some bad things to carry over to a good person, I'm gonna lose that person.
Jay,
And I don't want to do that.
you really inspire me with that one.
Well, I had to say it because
That's-
it's on my bucket list, and I'm going to achieve that one. That one's going to be achieved, but I won't lie and say it's going to be anytime like soon. It's going to happen, but I got to make sure things align because I've been playing for so long.
Well, let me-
I got to get out the playing.
yeah, and let me just give you just a couple of pieces of wisdom on that one, Jay.
Help me. Help me.
She's going to arrive,
Mhm.
and when she arrives, is not going to be at the ideal time. So put all those other things away in your head,
Uh-huh.
and just know that when the Lord sends Mrs. Right,
It's just
there's
gonna
no
be right.
denying it. It don't matter if you broke. It don't matter if you in pain and hurting. It don't matter where you are in life. And that's what happens. That people put the goals out. They keep pushing the good stuff away from them. The Lord want to fill your mind and fill your life right now. You know. And I'm gonna tell you, when you do this list, and you start identifying these very important activities that you want to have, be, and do in your life, your mind it's not just going to sit in your mind. Your subconscious mind is going to start to receive it. And your subconscious mind says, oh, you want to travel. Oh, you want to party. It's I call it the God within you, but your subconscious mind is the God within you, and it's going to receive the impress of the excitement of the things that you want, and it'll start pushing you in that direction. It'll start delivering resources and people and opportunities into your path that will allow you to achieve these goals and this bucket list. So don't push it away. And I just said
I
that,
got
you know what I'm
you.
saying?
I
I
got
know
you.
you're a grown man. You know what
I
I'm
got
saying?
you, bro.
Okay.
I got you. I feel
Listen,
you.
I don't know if I'm ready for number 2, man.
Now, number 2 gonna be an easy one. Number 2,
Okay.
everybody already know because I mentioned it. Is travel the whole world and experience all the different cultures.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I just want to do.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily just when I'm married.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like starting soon.
Right.
That's why cruises, trips, that's part of my bucket list. But I'm gonna start that probably sooner than the marriage thing.
Yeah.
The marriage thing
And-
is like you said, it's gonna happen. Number 2 is just gonna be planned. It's gonna start happening with the show. So hopefully people will follow us to the different places of the world we're going. I'm hoping y'all will want to see some places we go.
I wonder what the expense or the cost. What would it take to take a cruise around the world? Obviously, you got to have your mortgage paid for a year,
Yeah.
right?
We're gonna definitely
to
plan some
take
things.
a trip around the world, and I would imagine it probably costs $15,000-$20,000 to take a trip
But
around
who's
the
to
world.
say we got to just do it all at one time?
Yeah, but I do. I want to take a cruise around the world. I want to be on a boat. I want to see the waters and the shores. The lands will all kind of be the same, but I'm a real water guy. So mine is to take a cruise around the world. Yeah, and I've known a few people to do it.
How long will it take?
I mean, you live at sea. You live on the cruise.
Okay.
But you're visiting all kinds of ports. Literally, it's a year's trip. You know what I'm saying? You visited different ports each month, and you'll
do
get
a lot
to
of shows banked up. But hey, you know something? I'm down with it.
Yeah.
Like again,
I love that, Jay.
That's number 2.
I love
number 3 is gonna blow your socks off.
Uh-oh.
Number 3, I want to build a foundation, and it's gonna be back to the youths and the ones that's been left behind.
Okay.
I have to get that built up, not just because of the show. It's just in my heart.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. I have to get that built
I
up.
have to get it because when I was able to achieve this to this point, it's through the grace and the mercy of what He allowed me to continue going.
Yeah.
It wasn't just for me. And when I watch all the people going through all the things that they go through, and there's no helpful hand out there as much, and then the ones that is, you got different things, but there's great people out there doing great things. I don't want to say no more than I gotta be another great facet.
Yeah.
I don't never want to make it seem like no one's out there helping, because Tyler Perry, Oprah, you name some people already, they gave.
They're doing a lot.
And my whole thing
They're
is
doing a lot.
they shouldn't be the only one.
Yeah. See, I like how you put something that has to do with giving back and service and helping people on your bucket list. You know, a lot of people take the bucket list as a very selfish type of list. You know, these are things for just me. But yours go outside of that, Jay. And I would imagine, there's many more that you have, but those seem to be, the top 3 or 4 on the
Top
list.
3. I can name many, many more.
Yeah.
You asked for 3, and I love the one of what you asked for is 3, because 3 is important to me.
Right.
You gotta have your top, and that's what blew everybody's mind about the top.
Right.
Because the top, all day long, is the one thing that you know that you want. I've been married before, and I want it again.
Right.
2, travel the world. We love to party.
Yeah.
So traveling, party, that's us.
Yeah.
3, that goes back to your spirit, your soul, and what we strive for.
Absolutely.
And it's others. What made me do this? I didn't do it alone. I did it with people because I want to touch others.
Yeah, and I have one of those on my list, Jay. I envision myself writing a best-selling book on consciousness.
There you go.
And not for the sake of, I also have on my list, and I wouldn't say that this is a dream. I think that as I do my work here on the show and as I continue to put works together, I would be so grateful to receive a Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh.
Not just for the sake of receiving a Nobel Peace Prize, but to know that my works have been recognized by the greats, and the work has been recognized by the people, and that the people do find value in it, and that it can, create a stronger hold for mankind. That's just how I think all day, every day, about my work in consciousness. So, yeah, writing a best-selling book, and I'm actually getting started on it this weekend.
Okay.
We got some time set aside to focus on some out-of-the-box projects. Both Jay and I and his son and a partner of mine. So it's time to get on it, man.
That's right.
It's time to get on it. I think the people need this kind of inspiration. I think the people need something else to depend on to help them be successful and go to the next level of their lives. And so here we are. I got a few other items here on my bucket list.
Hold on, before you go to yours.
Go ahead. Oh,
we
Miss Barbara.
gotta change it up. Yes, we got
Miss Barbara.
Barbara.
What you got on your bucket
We
list?
got the lady from Macon, Georgia.
Well,
Tell us
first
what's on
and
your bucket
foremost, on my first I've been looking at buildings and everything. I've been wanting to be a caregiver for the ones that doesn't have any help, which will be / have a restaurant and like a nursing assistant in case they need attention and anything like that. That would be the first one. The second one is I want to go to London, England.
London, okay.
I have family there and I've never seen them except for one time, which is always bad time.
Right.
But I want to go on a good note. The third one is I want to get all my family together because they're scattered all over the place. Australia and Alaska, here and there, and have a family reunion.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
I like
All
that.
achievable.
Oh, all definitely achievable.
All very
And
achievable.
listen, all achievable in the next 2-3 years.
Easy.
Right? So I would say, and this is for all of us, this is for everybody, that if they're too easy, get them done and then create some more. Right? There's a lot to achieve. You can live 1,000 lifetimes and never do all the wonderful things that there are to do here on the planet Earth. 1,000 lifetimes. Right? So I'm just encouraging you to reach outside of your box. As I pulled up that list that I was talking about, by the way, on my one of the when I say spend time with the greats, I would love a sit down with Obama.
Oh yeah. Again, at number 4.
I mean, I got some questions that I'd like
Number
to
4.
ask, and boy, I tell you what. And see, I think that's attainable,
I think so too.
especially with the work that I want to do. In fact, I may even ask for a letter when I get to that point in my career, which I know is coming, right? Which I know is coming, and I have no doubts about where all of this work is going to head to. But yeah, to spend some time with Obama. Who would you like to spend some time with, Jay?
I ain't gonna lie to you. That would be the greatest person I
Yeah.
would love to sit next
Yeah.
to at this time. You name a person that I really felt like came in the White House and made finesse and change
Yeah.
in a way that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Most of the artists that I would say, some of them I already met, is nobody touches to me like this, like
yeah.
he has.
Yeah, but some like to just sit down with those guys from the old school, like Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie. I
Lionel
mean,
would throw
listen,
a lot of good stuff.
I know he would put a lot of good stuff at you. There was some Charlie Wilson.
Oh man, Charlie, that's
Yeah.
that's comedy out.
I mean, those cats got some stories to tell, and not to mention, most of these people have such rich history, and they were so monumental to what we have today in terms of music and in terms of creating in companies and how the industry works. I mean, these people made great sacrifices. They made great music, but they are legends, living legends. And if you have the opportunity to spend quality time with a living legend, I would encourage you to do it. Get your pen and pad, ask them for an hour of their time, ask some questions, and maybe they can, inspire you to your greatest possibility.
I'm telling you,
they say it's not what you know, it's who you know. And
Say
boy,
it
I'm
again.
seeing that every day
Say it
of my
again.
life. Here's an interesting one. I'd like to experience weightlessness. You know how the astronauts
You just want to float around.
I just want to float around. I wonder what that would feel like. What that would be like. And it's just out of the box. It's too late for me to be an astronaut. I probably could,
tell you.
if I was 17, 18 and I decided I wanted to be an
behind the
astronaut,
moon you want to.
I could have been an astronaut, huh?
You already know the president we got. You probably would come back.
Hey,
Fly up there.
I probably wouldn't want to.
Well,
Hey,
yeah.
send me on to Mars. Right?
Oh my goodness,
But
really great.
that's just something out of the box. It's kind of like skydiving. That's kind of like
It is. It just, I mean, when they call weightlessness, I'm fine with that. Especially like that fan.
Yeah.
You can blow and you can blow up.
yeah, to experience
some things like that. I'm cool with.
something where there's no gravity.
But when you're talking about taking a plane way up there and
No,
jumping out,
I'm not trying to do all that.
parachuter, you on your own plane.
Yeah, I'm not trying.
If
to
your
do
chute don't open up, I'm gonna be on the ground just telling everybody what happened. That's all I can. Sometimes I can't just duplicate what
Right.
I ain't trying to do.
Now, as we have gone through this list, I'm hoping that our audience is, I hope that bells and whistles are popping off in your head. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I hope you're getting excited about the things that you can do. Listen, I'm 49. I'm
Right,
yet
right.
to get a tattoo. I gotta have a tattoo, and I need to get one like right away. That's on my bucket list. That is attainable probably by next week. You know what my problem is? I can't decide what I want.
I mean,
For
crap.
20 years I've been saying, okay, I'm gonna get this circle right there, get my kid's name, and okay, I'm gonna get a family crest. And, no, I'm just gonna get a tree with the
Crap.
Lord. You know what I'm
Crap.
saying, with his name
I'm
on the
gonna help
side.
you out.
What?
I want you to put an impact gun. I want you, yeah, Craft Mac. Cause when he get on top, he's like an impact.
I can't keep this guy.
What? I'm just trying to help you out. You need to.
You ain't
warn
helping
folks.
me, man.
You need to put Craft Medic. I want you to put that underneath
Listen,
the impact gun.
I have come to, in a worldly way, I have come to admire people who have tattoos. I know the amount of, I don't know, you guys gotta have an inner strength to sit there with
pain.
that needle for,
Yeah.
pain, you know.
Yeah, that outer line. Yeah.
But to sit there and not be phased by it,
I was phased.
I'm just, overwhelmed by that.
I was
And
moving.
not to mention that those tattoos mean something to those people. You know, oftentimes it's just stuff. You know, I saw a TV show on the Ink TV show, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy came in there and was like, all right, just do whatever you want. Just fill that space right there. So, and I guess that happens when people get a lot of tattoos. But I want something that's very meaningful to tattoo on my body, because I know this flesh is going back to where it came from. It came from nothing. It'll go back to nothing. But in the meantime, I need
It's
a
gonna
stamp
be
of
marked.
approval. That's right. I need to put who I am and what I am and let that be a representation of my strength. And I do have a brand on my chest. And every single day, and I'm wondering why I haven't gotten a tattoo years ago, but every single day when I see that brand on my chest, it like gives me strength. It like something about it says, you are strong.
Right.
You are whole and complete. You are a fighter. You are a winner. You are successful. You know, something about it just tells me that, and perhaps people with tattoos may experience the same thing. So I'm going to get in the game here in the next couple
We're
of
about to
weeks.
go to break. I'm gonna tell you all day long because I got a tattoo. I got two.
Right.
One of them, and I'm gonna dedicate this one to my brothers. It's the Panther.
Okay.
That's on my one shoulder.
Yeah.
And again, Jeffrey wasn't able to make it tonight because he was at the opening of the Panther movie. So he's at the premiere tonight. So that's why Jeffrey wasn't on. And the second one is a scorpion because I'm a Scorpio.
Yeah.
And I
That's a
really,
big Scorpio.
yeah. Well,
That's a big
I
scorpion.
wanted to make sure when I take my shirt off and you know what crawl on you.
It be hanging all off your neck and shit.
You need to know what's getting on you. Okay.
Right.
And the stingers.
Oh Lord, that's not good, Jay.
Whatever.
Nobody wants a scorpion on
You
them.
need to understand what happens when I sting you. I'm trying to tell you, baby.
I'll never know that.
No, you ain't. No, you
So,
sure won't.
Y'all post.
But for the women that want to take us on the cruise,
Yeah. Right.
I got a stinger.
And Carol, for all people,
Yeah.
if I have one,
Yeah.
you could get one.
Okay.
Oh,
listen,
listen
I'll
to
be down
her.
like
She
this.
calling you a punk.
I just need to make up my
She
mind.
over there in the backstage calling you a punk.
Yeah,
It gotta have meaning, baby.
It's got to have the right meaning.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you don't put the wrong thing on there, cause
Yeah, because they'll be like, what the hell is that?
Y'all stay tuned. We're gonna be right back with Bar Talk with Jay after this break. Iterate, get married, travel the world, and build a foundation.
Yes.
That ought to direct your every path. And, you know, the travel the world, that's, you know, unless you pick more places than you can travel in the next 20 years, that's very doable.
Oh, all three of them is very doable.
Right.
And they're gonna get done.
Right.
And again, why? Because I'm focused. I started Bar Talk with Jay with a dream, and then I made it more into reality. Because again, you can think it until you start doing it, and it'll never get done.
Right.
So again, you gotta put your mind to it, and once you start doing that, that action gravitates, and that's why I got great people around me. When I started this, it was a thought. Now there's a vision, there's people, and it grows and it manifests. And what I love about it is when it manifests, it's manifesting with people with their own ideas. It's not for me to grab this and it's just about me. You have your spiritual calling. Barbara has hers. My son sits over in the back. He's gonna wake up and he's gonna add value to this as well, because I'm calling him on the show right now to be that number 4th thing, to make something positive happen in his life, like his daddy is doing
Right.
to everybody else's. My foundation would not be named after him. He gonna name his own. Because again, it's not for him to be me. It's to be the best him.
Absolutely.
Just like I know, the only way I can be my best is to understand me and to gravitate to others and understand me.
Yeah.
Be the best me possible.
And you make a great point, Jay, that it's important to keep your kids, even your friends and family around you, kind of aware of their dreams,
Yes.
you know, and aware of what their potential is. You know, if you tell a child something like, okay, you're gonna buy your first house at 25, right? You tell a conscious 12 or 13-year-old, so listen, you got 12 years before you buy your first house. So you need to be thinking about what your career is gonna be, and once you buy your first house, you're gonna buy your first building, so you can start a business, right? And I want you to start putting away so that you can retire at age 40 and you can play golf for the rest of your life. See, these are ways to inspire,
There you
right?
go.
Think about it this way. We are inspired by the possibility of the future. We are inspired by what we can achieve. It's almost like gasoline in our tank, right? Every time I realize that, when Jay says, I gotta build a foundation, that just adds strength to his resolve to get it done, right? When a young high school player says, you know what, I'm gonna be in the NFL. I'm gonna play in the NFL. That's what I'm gonna do. That's on my bucket list. Call it what you want to call it, career, aspirations, a hope, dream. I'm gonna play in the NFL. That's what I'm gonna do. That child has set in stone a foundation of hope that will keep him grinding. It'll get him to go to class early. It'll get him to finish his lesson. It'll keep him from getting some girl pregnant. It'll keep him, in close touch with his parents and his support group. It'll keep him in gratitude. It'll keep him focused. And that's what this list is all about, is keeping you focused on the things that are important. You, again, in 1,000 years, 1,000 lifetimes, you can never do all the things that there are to do. So let's talk, and I just want to cover some of those things before we close out here, because there's some very interesting and unique stuff that would never interest me, but
Said that quickly.
they just might interest you. Some people want to go surfing, right? Some people are going to go see the waterfalls. They want a dog
I
sled.
can't even swim.
Somebody here said they want to eat fire, right?
What?
They want to
Mark it off my list.
they want to flip on a trampoline. How about hang gliding or hold a shark?
Hold on, what?
Jump off a cliff.
Neither one.
Parasail.
Again.
How about play a game of paintball? That'll be fun.
Oh,
I
we
never
can do
done
that.
Yeah,
Paintball?
Paintball. That
Oh,
sounds
oh.
like it would be fun,
I tell
right?
you what, I got a paintball gun. We can do that one.
Scuba dive. Swim with the dolphins.
I don't swim.
Swim with the stingrays.
I don't swim with nothing.
Right.
If you see a little rubber ducky in my tub,
How about
something
attend a rodeo? That might be fun to do, right? These
No,
are
I
for
can
you.
attend. I ain't getting on one.
You keep taking these for yourself. These are for everybody. These are the
Oh,
things-
okay, my bad.
These are the
You
things.
know I am.
These are the things that other people might enjoy, but
Okay.
we may not
I'm
enjoy.
just about to take
Rodeo
this.
is good.
Say what
Rodeo
now?
is good?
Rodeo is good.
Yeah,
Rodeo.
watching.
Yeah.
You get yourself on if you want to.
That's compete in a horse jumping obstacle. Climb to the top of a tree. Climb a volcano. That would be fun. Climbing a volcano.
Climb a who? A live one?
Not alive.
Okay, about to say more live again.
Have you ever milked a cow?
I don't want to milk. I don't even like milk.
Yeah.
I'm lactose.
I milked
Yeah.
milked a
Have you
cow.
farting everywhere?
That was fun. That was fun.
I ain't milking.
That was
man.
interesting anyway.
How about riding
Swim
a
in the
high
ocean.
room?
I would not want to swim in the ocean, but
I don't swim, no. But keep going.
yeah, and you need to get that done.
What?
You need to learn how to swim.
Okay,
What
I
if-
learn how.
what
I
if-
ain't gonna get no ocean.
What if the next life is full of water?
I'll be under.
I know.
I'll just be under.
You got to be prepared, son. That's what this
I
life is
was
all
all
about.
right. You never learn to swim. I can boogie, baby.
Let's see, what are some others here? This is fun. Meet world leaders. We've already said
Oh, I
that.
got that.
Meet the
I
president.
like that.
Sing a karaoke. It's a karaoke duet.
Can't sing, though. I try.
Let's see here.
Rock climbing.
Rock climbing. That's a big one.
Yeah, you go there.
Some people like to maybe create a family logo and create a family tree.
Ooh,
I think that's a big one.
that's nice.
And you know, maybe that's just short of a bucket list, but most of you who have grown up and you know gotten educations or gotten good jobs and have moved away from home, your children will never know what your great uncle looked like or your great grandfather or the cousins and aunties. It might be a great idea to reach out to those folks, get them to forward you some pictures, and create a collage or create a family book that maybe you can pass down to your children. Because if you don't pass it down to them,
They won't never know.
they'll never know. And there's a lot of that happening. You know, I've been studying some stuff recently about generations, and you know, where does all the information go? It goes to the grave with the people who had the information. And so this may be an opportunity to pass on some really valuable information, especially if you know things like your family history or
And-
family names, those things.
I gotta jump in there on this one. That's gonna be 5th now on the bucket list, because one of the things, and this one right here, I know it's at the end of the show, and I have to say it all day long, because a lot of time we have broken families.
Right.
I like to say, before I got married, I had 5 kids, so they don't all have my last name.
Right.
So it is important to recognize and to make sure that they all feel special.
Yeah.
Just because they don't have your last name does not mean I do not love them. I love them all the same.
Right.
But again, it is nice to be able to bring them together, and also to show them where they fit in. Because a lot of times they feel like they're just a secret because they didn't have the name, and know they wasn't known, and I didn't do the right things all the times when I was young till where I'm older now. But one of the things you can do better is to make them fit in and show them.
Absolutely.
And that
Absolutely.
right there changes a whole mentality of where we were to where we're going.
Mhm.
So not just the foundation, but also that tree, and showing everybody that this is me. Not perfect, but I'm a person that's getting better.
Yeah, and one on my list, Jay, was to write my biography.
And believe me, I'm gonna be right next to you, because
Because
when I write mine, you're gonna be rolling.
I'm an only child, and you know, so I'm not real close to a lot of people, even my family. You know, my mom and dad, of course, but nobody knows my story. Nobody knows what I've been through. Nobody really knows my struggle.
So
And
wait a minute,
and
you're the
I'm
only child?
I'm an only child, man.
So
Listen,
when you broke shit, they knew who did it.
as far as I know, yeah.
There you go, Trout. As far as you know.
Papa was a Rolling
Whoa.
Stone. Watch out. Papa was a Rolling Stone. And listen,
Mm.
no, I ain't gonna say that. we all need to check our family tree, right?
All I can tell you, I shook my tree, and there's all kind of stuff there. I'm trying to tell you.
Listen, folks, we are pretty close to wrapping up here tonight. I'm encouraging you to go to a website. It's called bucketlistjourney.net. Bucketlistjourney.net. And there's I've only gotten to like 180 right here, but there's over 1,000 ideas that will help you build your bucket list. And some very unique stuff here, and some very out of the box stuff for me. You know, people want to eat all different kinds of foods. People want to, you know, travel to different places. You know, people want to have certain lifestyles, and you know, this one says have a housekeeper and have a positive net worth, and have an IRA, and have no credit debt, and have a will to own a successful business. You know, to own some particular jewelry, or you know, satin sheets to build a new home. You know, there's so many wonderful, wonderful ideas. But folks, if you never attack the ideas, you'll never give God and you'll never give your subconscious mind the opportunity to create for you. You'll never use all of your power and your potential without a bucket list. And the bucket list will lead to, here's the goals that I'll do for this year. And so in August of this year, I'm going to take that trip with my father. I can put it on the calendar, and I can already start to check off my bucket list. Don't wait to the end of your life and look over your shoulder and say you wasted time because you were afraid, or because you didn't think of it, or because you were lazy. Now is the time to take full advantage of the next 50 years. And you do that by planning and thinking and preparing to do the thing that you want to do, rather than being pushed in a direction to do what the world wants you to do. Get more out of life. That's what we're talking about here on this show tonight. Get more out of life. What else is there to say, Jay?
There's nothing more to say. And the only thing we're trying to do is have a conversation to get you to wake up.
That's it.
One of the things that I like to say is we wake up, and when I say wake up, a lot of people are like, I wake up every day. But your passion, your purpose don't. And when you wake up and all you do is just go to work and you miserable and you speak negative and you wonder why, because your purpose never woke up with you.
Yes.
Because when your purpose wake up, I promise, it wakes you up. And then you come up excited. And when somebody's saying negative things, you block it. And then you start seeing things for what it is, not for what they say. You will research when people talk to you. You just don't believe everything that you hear, because you have a foundation, which is your spirit.
Right.
And you're not really following it because we're just following people. That's worldly. And like I said, once you start getting into what you're called to do, you work different, you look different, and I promise you, everybody around you say they see you different.
Absolutely.
I want that different person in my present. And all I'm asking you to do is find a way to wake up. Listen to these shows. Find a way to sit down and have a conversation with somebody close to you.
Yes.
And you will be able to easily wake up, because you will see what you do.
Yes.
It's not what you want to do, but we're going to give you a list. And that list was a bucket list. And if you look at the bucket list, you'll probably say, well, these things can be achieved, because you will stop doubting and start what? Doing.
Right.
That's what we do. Bar Talk with Jay. And that's why we love you. And we out.
And we out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.